You guys probably know the game Among Us. At one point, it was one of the biggest games in the world. And now, no one even talks about it. Not even the sus jokes that we all love are standing the test of time. So, what happened to Among Us? Was it the player base just moved on? Did the developers just not have enough people and weren't able to update the game? Or is it actually the game and developers' fault that the game died? We'll talk about that and a lot more in today's video. What happened to Among Us? I felt like this was the perfect time to make this video because of the most recent feature that they added to Among Us, the friends list feature. It took them forever to work on, but now you can add friends, get friend requests, recently played with, and you can block players, and a little bit more. But should it really have taken that long for just an Among Us friends list? Well, it wouldn't have if a couple things didn't go to plan. I feel like if Among Us was like a little bit smarter in terms of what they did with the game, then they maybe could have still had a very relevant game to this day. So let's go all the way back to 2018. Among Us just released. It was a very small game that not a lot of people played, but a decent amount of people still did play the game. And it was a simple 10-player game where there's 1 to 3 imposters and a bunch of crewmates. And the crewmates have to find the imposters without getting eliminated. And they can vote off the imposters. The imposters can eliminate crewmates, but they don't want to be caught by the other crewmates. And I think you guys know how Among Us works. But the first 2 years of the game weren't really that big. The game didn't see a huge amount of players. Some people did play it, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't in the same state as it used to be. And as it was when we all know it for 2020. But it was about mid to late 2020. Say September, August, October, around there. And there wasn't really a mainstream game to play. Fortnite was on the decline at the time. Fall Guys was getting very boring after just a couple of months after being popular. And there was no real contending game to be the top. And that's when Among Us got discovered by a bunch of Twitch streamers, a bunch of YouTubers, and it just took over the planet. We all know the sus jokes. Everyone was playing the game. It was honestly a very interesting but unique time for the gaming industry. But I wouldn't say it was a bad time either. But I don't think Among Us was expecting the blow up that they had with Among Us. I thought they probably had the mindset of, we're gonna have a solid game, it will get a decent amount of players, but it won't like take over the internet or anything like that. But it ended up taking over. And so Among Us had 2 choices in mind. Either create an Among Us 2 that would be very easy to update, because the current Among Us isn't easy to update at all. or they keep going with Among Us, basically the short-term plan, and try to update the game. They ended up going with the latter, and in my opinion, this was the thing that ended up killing Among Us. So, they had Airship in mind. It was teased at some point during 2020, and I think towards I think it took them a bit longer than expected, but they got Airship out, and this wasn't like Among Us was like on a slight decline, but not a big one, and they brought some players back, the Airship. But then the game just was silent. They added very small but bad updates that weren't helping the game out at all, and it just got very confusing for people that wanted to go back to Among Us. And so, like, either way, it wouldn't have been good. If they made a bunch of these updates, or didn't do them, people that came back just to see what was happening wouldn't be thrilled. They would either be upset that nothing was added, or the updates that were added weren't good. And it was the latter. But I think, in my opinion, there are a few things that can revive Among Us, and we'll get into that a bit later. But ever since Airship, the game has been on a decline. Less and less people were talking about it. There wasn't as much interest in the game. Fortnite was back after Chapter 3's release. Epic Games bought Fall Guys, which gave them a big return. And honestly, a lot of games have just been back ever since Among Us fell off. And with Apex Season 14 coming out soon, I think it's safe to say we won't see an Among Us arrival in the not at all distant future. But I think Among Us will be revived, but just not in the way you're thinking. I don't think Among Us 2 will save it. I don't think this Among Us will save it. But I think the game will arrive again and be popular again at Christmas time. Might be wondering, why Christmas time? The game is free, or it's only $5, so why do you have to wait till Christmas to buy it? And it doesn't really involve Among Us in the way that you think it does. I think that Among Us VR will be the thing that saves the game. And you might be wondering, how will Among Us VR save the game? Well, it won't necessarily save this Among Us that we're playing. It won't make much of a big interest if the developers still want to go with Among Us 2. Keep in mind, it's a small team, but I think since how big Among Us was, I think they definitely could have, like, they would have definitely been able to get some more job hirings for the team. So I don't really see too many excuses in terms of the team issue. But I think at least Among Us VR will do well, because most people are getting VR headsets nowadays, and although some people aren't fond with the idea, I think that, like, at Christmas time, it's the perfect time for a lot of people to buy VR headsets. And I don't necessarily think Among Us will be the next Beat Saber on VR, but I definitely think it will go really well. I think Among Us is built to be a VR game. And who knows, maybe this will bring some player attention back into the game. I'm not too sure. All I know is that having this Among Us VR mode will be great for the game, great for the VR game at least. And who knows, maybe Among Us will be revived with this. Maybe it will revive itself. Maybe all my theories are wrong, and Among Us will just be a dead game forever, and we will never talk about sus jokes again. Or maybe it goes back to its 2020 state. I'm not sure. We just have to wait until the future to find out. But what do you guys feel about Among Us right now? How do you feel about its future? How do you feel about, how do you think they should do with Among Us? Should they make Among Us 2, which would be easier to update? Should they try to promo off of Among Us VR? Or should they just try to make some changes with the game? Or hire more staff? Or anything else in between? Let me know in the comment section down below. I am very interested to see what you guys think about the state of Among Us and how it will be. And yeah, I think Among Us is okay right now. It's not something I can play for hours straight. Just a quick game to like refresh your mind. But yeah, I definitely don't think Among Us is gonna go back to its 2020 state. It might, but I just don't necessarily see it being as popular as like Fall Guys right now, or Fortnite in 2018, or like Apex as well. Will take some eyes off everything else. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Oh yeah, and by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Sheep Rampage for giving me the idea of this video. His video's link and his channel link will both be in the description. He has made such great videos on this topic, and I definitely think you should check him out. He is a great creator, and I love his just overall talent, and I love how he just does well in this type of community, in the talk community. But yeah, go check him out. He is a great creator, and let me know if you guys want to see more content like this. I don't really do these type of videos, but I'm willing to do more if you guys want that. If you guys enjoyed, and it's been Trixie. Bye guys.